I've been a homeless for one day, and I have seen that the homeless people actually can be a lot happier than these so-called successful people.
Learn the English for the sake of English. İngliz tilini IELTS'dan 7.5 olaman, 8 olaman deb o'qimaylar. İngliz tilida muloqot qilaman, ingliz tilida ishlayman. Hech qachon to'xtamaylar. IELTS olganinglardan keyin ham ishoninglar, hali ingliz tilidan ko'p bilmagan narsalar borligini anglab yetasizlar.
Markaziy Osiyo, O'zbekistondan Ismoil Buxoriy, Termiziy shular chiqqan. Ey Markaziy Osiyoliklar, dunyo sizlarni kutyapti.
By far, IELTS is the hardest step. It took me 4 years to learn English and to get the score that I wanted, and it was by far much harder than it was preparing for college. It took far less time.
Shu darajaga yetishimga bitta sababchi bo'lgan odam shu yerda turibdilar. Mana odamlar hozir keldilar.
И давайте начнем со вступления. Каждый гость немножко расскажет вам о себе, для того, чтобы понять, какие вопросы и какого рода вы можете им задавать. Начнем, пожалуйста, с Акмаляки. Assalomu alaykum hammalarga. Xush kelibsizlar. Xo'p, o'zbek tilida boshlayman. Savolni rus tilida ham berishingiz mumkin, ingliz tilida ham berishingiz mumkin. Bemalol hamma tilda suhbat qilishingiz mumkin bo'ladi. Xo'p, o'zimni tanishtiradigan bo'lsam, Education IELTS test markazining rahbari hisoblanaman. Menimcha hamma O'zbekistonda ko'pincha bizani IDP deb nomlashadi. Hozir Instagramdan ketayotgan trend bor, ko'rasizlar, yosh bola gapiryapti-ku. I'm IDP, why everyone calls me IDP deydi, o'shanga o'xshabdi. Atak nomi o'zi Education. Haqiqatda faoliyatimizni birinchi tegida study abroad deyiladi, konsultatsiya, ya'ni chet elda o'qish masalalari bo'yicha bolalarga yordam berganmiz. Haligacha yordam berib kelamiz. Ya'ni Amerikaga, Angliyaga, Avstraliyaga, Kanadaga, masalan, даже Новый Zelandiyaga ham studentlarni jo'natgan paytlarimiz bo'lgan, shu faoliyatdan boshlaganmiz. Hozirgi kunda eng asosiy faoliyatimiz, endi hamma bizlarni biladigan faoliyatimiz bu IELTS imtihonlarini O'zbekiston Respublikasi hududida o'tkazib kelish. No, bundan tashqari IELTSdan tashqari hozir ko'rsatayotgan xizmatlarimizdan turi ko'paygan. Oddiy misol, masalan, hozirgi kunda o'qituvchilarning ham malakasini oshirish masalalari bilan ham shug'ullanamiz. Ya'ni ingliz tili o'qituvchilarini asosan shug'ullanadigan Cambridge English Assessment degan tashkilot bor butun dunyoda. Bu Cambridge universitetini, Angliyada Cambridge universitetini bitta departament hisoblanadi. Ularni CELTA Delta degan o'qituvchilar uchun, ingliz tili o'qituvchilari uchun mo'ljallangan bitta kursi bor, malaka oshirish kursi bor. Shuni ham O'zbekistonda hozirgi kunda tashkillashtirib amalga oshirib kelyapmiz. Masalan, hozirgi kunda international ustozlari ham uni yaxshi bilishadi. Mana hozir bu yil yangi proyekt qilganmiz. International ustozlarini ham mana shu CELTA kurslarida o'qitib, ularning ham malakasini oshirish bilan shug'ullanamiz. Yana bitta faoliyatimiz bu qo'shimcha imtihon. Bu xuddi shu o'qituvchilarga mo'ljallangan imtihon. Agar oranglarda kimdir ham ingliz tili o'qituvchisi bo'lmoqchiman, shu kasbdan ketmoqchiman deydigan bo'lsanglar, bu borada ham imtihonlar bor. O'sha Cambridge TKT degan imtihonlari bor. Так что savollar bo'lsa, ingliz tilida imtihonlari bo'yicha, malaka oshirish masalalari bo'yicha, agar chet elda o'qish masalalari bo'yicha savollar bo'ladigan bo'lsa, qo'ldan kelgancha sizlarga yordam beramiz degan umiddamiz bugun. Rahmat kattakon, yana kelganingizga sog' bo'linglar. Давайте продолжим с Mamura апай. Mamura апай, o'zingiz haqingizda ozgina so'zlab bering.
Okay. O'zbekcha gapiraymi, inglizcha gapiraymi? Faqat ruscha bilmayman-da. Okay, good morning everybody. It's very good to see everybody here. Hi, here's my student right there. My name is Mamura Yoldasheva. Right now I am teaching IELTS at the Result School at NOZA. I was born here, just to give you a little information about myself. I was born here, but when I was 11, my family immigrated to the United States, and I lived there for 23 and a half, 24 years. So we just came back last year. It's been exactly 1 year today, I think this month. So, but what can I say? Yeah, when I was there, I went to school. I learned English there the hard way. They just threw me in the pool and I had to learn how to swim. And I was able to complete my bachelor's, then I got my master's, and then I moved back here. But I started teaching when I was about, I think it was in 8th grade, I started to teach by volunteering. I don't know if they have this system here, but there you can volunteer to teach. And I did that with math. And throughout my education, I continued to teach offline. But when I got here, I saw that there was a lot of interest in English in IELTS. So I had no idea what IELTS was, but I took it once in December, and it was an 8, so I got a job at result with an 8. So then I saw that the interest was growing for IELTS, so I tried to take it again to see if I can get a higher grade, higher band score. And when alhamdulillah, I did. And so right now I'm continuing to teach IELTS. We have an online class and an offline class. So thank you so much for inviting me here too.
It's my pleasure to see you here. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Передадим слово Шохруху Олимову.
Hey guys, good morning everyone. That's my greatest pleasure to see you here. So speaking about me, I first of all can talk from two different perspectives. First of all, from a perspective of a student. I've been in your place, a kind of a student who struggles a lot with learning English, struggles a lot with all the IELTS techniques, and I've been in a place where I would be demotivated, and I'll also be motivated to study. So I can help you with that if any questions pop up in terms of learning English as a student, then I'm here. Then I can also speak about from the perspective of a teacher here as well. I've been in this sphere for probably 4.5 years, and I would love to share my insights on vlogging, on blogging, on leading YouTube as well. So I won't speak too much about it, and we'll get to know each other hopefully during the event. Thank you.
Дальше передадим слово нашему хед-тичеру, мистеру Рустаму.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, everyone. I can see the brightest minds. Welcome to International School. My name is Rustam. I'm 45. In 2020, I took my last IELTS exam just to enter International School. I was so delighted. I got in at once. Let me welcome you on behalf of International School. This room, this hall is now enlightened because instead of lying... Now okay? Yeah. I am sorry. Shall I start over? It's okay. Good. One more time, welcome everyone to International School. This room, this hall is now enlightened with the brightest minds because instead of keeping the bed on Sunday, you are here to get some beautiful insights from our colleagues from this beautiful team. This is a rare meeting, and I'm sure it's going to generate the best feedback in your hearts and increase your motivation to get a higher band score in the IELTS. Thank you for participation. Enjoy the event.
И наш последний гость, мистер Sega от Freshman Academy.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Hey. Yeah, so my name is Sega Arakelian, and a little bit about my background as well. I am coming from Samarkand, and I studied there in a very basic general public school. Probably some of you already attend a public school here in Tashkent. And you know, when I was the same age as you, I was also fascinated with IELTS. I wanted to study it, I wanted to learn it. And my first score was actually 6, IELTS 6. And back then I was very proud of that score. I thought that I am on the top of the world. But at the same time, my brother at the same time already got 8 with his score. And he managed to get into one of the most selective schools in Asia, which is Yale and US College. So this school is a partnership between two great institutions. One is an institution in America called Yale, and it had some, I think it was 5 US presidents already studied there. And it's also a partnership between NUS, National University of Singapore, which is the 8th college in Asia, in the world actually. So once my brother got into that very prestigious university, he was actually the first one to do so from a public school. He had a passion to help me get admitted. And once I got admitted, in actually a record time, half a year, I managed to increase my IELTS score and my SAT score. I managed to prepare for the university with the help of my brother. And once I got in, we had this very great idea of making this ability to study in those very prestigious schools possible to everyone. And we opened what is now called the Freshman Academy. I am one of the teachers and one of the co-founders of the Freshman Academy, obviously, because of my brother. And now we're helping students to get into very prestigious schools. We already got kids at Harvard, at Princeton, UPenn, Berkeley, and many, many others. Most of them are also from public schools. Some of them are from villages. So yeah, I would be very grateful to share my insights on how get into those universities with, mind you, full scholarships. Yeah, all of our students, including myself, got full scholarship. So yeah, very excited to be here.
Провели знакомство и сразу перейдем к Q&A сессиону. Сначала вопросы подготовлены командой Internation, а потом уже слово передадим вам, студентам, для того, чтобы вы могли задать интересующие вас вопросы. The most frequently asked question from students is, where is it better to take IELTS, IDP or British Council?
Menga bo'lsa kerak bu savol bor. Xo'p, albatta education deb aytaman-da, boshqachasiga javob bera olmayman, to'g'rimi? Ilojisi yo'q bu narsani. Testni qayerda topshirishingizdan qat'iy nazar O'zbekistondami, chet eldami, educationnami, Samarqanddami, Toshkentdami yoki Urganchdami tayyorlanib, o'qituvchilar bilan maslahatlashib, kuchingizga, bilimingizga ishonch hosil qilganingizdan keyin topshirishinglarni maslahat beraman. Ana shundagina sizlar o'ylagan, o'zingizlar xohlagan ballaringlarni olasizlar. Esdan chiqarmanglar, qayerda topshirishingizdan qat'iy nazar, savollar hamma yoqda bir xil. Ko'pchilik haligacha shu savolni beradi. Haqiqatda har safar bu narsani takrorlanib aytamiz. Sertifikat beradigan sertifikat o'zi bir xil. Beriladigan savollar bir xil. Baholanish mezonlari bir xil. Hamma narsasi bir xil. Bittagina farq o'zi nimadaki, yaratayotgan sharoit o'zi bo'yicha test markazi boshqa test markazidan ozginagina farq qiladigan joylari bor. Oddiy misol, даже Toshkentda topshirib turib, Samarqandda topshiradiganda ham topshiradigan joylarni solishtirganda, masalan, to'g'rini tan olish kerak, Toshkentda sal sharoit yaxshiroq bo'ladi viloyatga nisbatan. Bu ham oxirgi yillarda juda ham o'zgardi. Oxirgi yillarda viloyatlarda ham juda ham sharoitlar yaxshilandi. Shuning uchun bunday o'ylab qaraganda, bu savolga fokus qilmaylar-da, fokusni nimaga beringlar? Biliminglarni oshirishga va yaxshi tayyorgarlik qilishingizga. Omad hammanglarga.
Birinchi o'rinda general English yaxshi bo'lish kerak. Undan oldin o'zimni tajribamga chiqadigan bo'lsam, rus tili ona tililar bo'lsa yoki o'zbek tili ona tililar bo'lsa, o'sha ona tili kuchli bo'lish kerak. Maqola, podcast, TV ko'rsatuvlar, radio show, shularga urg'u kuchaygan bo'lish kerak. Ya'ni ingliz tilidagi ma'lumot sizlarning ona tilinglar qanaqa shakllangan bo'lsa, o'shani qabul qilishga moyil bo'ladi. Ikkinchi jihati, aksariyat o'quvchilarni tomosha qilamiz, kuzatamiz, bular faqat praktikga urg'u beradi. To'g'ri, bu yaxshi narsa, lekin xatolar ustida ishlagan ma'qulroq. Mana general English kuchaydi, 4 ta modul bo'yicha kuchaytirib oldinglar, ma'lum bir darajaga keldi. Undan keyin IELTS yechib ko'ringlar, 3 ta 4 ta practice test, xatolar bo'yicha mentor, teacher, kimdir peer, shulardan kim yaxshiroq biladi? Maslahat olib, boshqa odam tekshirib berish kerak albatta. Undan tashqari biz kim muvaffaqiyatli topshirganini mana suhbatini o'tkazib turamiz, academic support, teacher, oddiy o'quvchilar, teamwork qilganlar ertaroq topshira oladi, tezroq topshira oladi, yaxshiroq topshira oladi. Simon Sinek bu katta motivatorlardan biri aytadiki, you can't win alone. Sizlar yolg'iz yuta olmaysizlar. Tasavvur qilasizlar, sizlar bitta topik bo'yicha ishlab turishlar. Yoningizlarda 4 ta peer, siz bilan 5 ta, 1 soatda 5 ta topik ustida ishlay olasizlar. Undan tashqari IDP, BC qaysi biri maqro deganda, men to'g'rirog'ini aytgan bo'lardim, o'z tajribamdan kelib chiqib, paper based yoki computer based tanlab olinglar o'zingizlar uchun. Meni o'zimning tajribam bu, men uchun computer based to'g'ri kelgan. Nimaga? 9 da boshlansa, 10 ta ham 9 da bo'lsam IDP da. Mana Akmal aka bilanlar sharoitda. Ortiqcha navbat yo'q men uchun. Xonada 10 ta kompyuter, bitta supervisor. Bir pasda hamma foto olindi, olindi, kirdi, toshib chiqdi. Bu men uchun qulay. Men qo'lda yozgandan ko'ra kompyuterda yaxshi yoza olaman. Shuni oldin sinab ko'rishdan maslahat beraman. Vaqt bo'yicha sinab ko'ringlar. IELTS test bu imtihon, exam. Biliminglar meni hozirgacha qilgan xulosam ikkinchi o'rinda turadi. Birinchi o'rinda to'g'ri bilim kuchli bo'lish kerak. Birinchi o'rinda test management strategies, vaqti. Qachon boshlanadi, qachon tugatishlar kerak. Reading answer sheet qanday ko'chiriladi, listening qachon, kompyuterda qanaqa farqi bor, mana bu drag degan joylari bor. O'shani birinchi tushunib olish kerak. Ko'p savol beramiz. Bir yil o'qiyotgan o'quvchilar bor. Listening section 1 nechta savol desak, bera olmay qoladi. Ya'ni o'zak, negiz, foundation yo'q. Test nimaligini o'rganib ko'rmagan bola. Section 1 nechta odam gapiradi, javob bera olmaydi. Nima haqida gapiradi, javob bera olmaydi. Nimaga section 3 da ko'pchilik qiynaladi, javob bera olmaydi. Ko'proq mana shu foundation, o'sha strategies, umuman test IELTS qanaqa o'tkaziladi, qayerda, qachon o'tkaziladi. O'shani bir sinab ko'rish kerak bo'ladi. Oldin topshirganlar bilan albatta maslahat qilinglar. Yaxshiroq topshirgan bilan maslahat qilinglar. 7,5 olmoqchi bo'lsalar, 7,5 olgan bilan gaplashinglar. Yoki 8 olgan bo'lsa, 8 olgan bilan gaplashinglar. Maslahat hech qachon sizlarga zarar keltirmaydi. Bilim shunaqa narsaki, kimdir yaxshiroq bilsa, sizlardan borib yalinib o'rganish kerak. Kerak bo'lsa o'sha odamga xizmat qilish kerak. O'shanda biliminglar sizlarga yuqadi degan xulosa bor bizda. Rahmat.
I also did research on that. So if you're hesitating between choosing, IDP or British Council, my advice for you is choose the one that's closer to your home. They're basically the same in terms of testing. So you're just, worrying about the thing that doesn't really matter, what you should be focusing on and paying attention to, not to which study center I can go, test center, but how I can improve my level right now. This would be the right question, I would say. Thank you.
Yeah, I guess I would just say that I'm not very qualified to answer this question. I took my IELTS way in a day, maybe 3-4 years ago. So I'm really not sure. All I can say, though, is that for some of you who are planning to study abroad, this question will be probably the least of your concern. Because IELTS is very important, but it's only the first step. And there are so many more steps that you need to take. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents on it.
Whether to take it at IDP or British Council, like I said, it doesn't matter. What matters is how much you know English. What matters is how comfortable you are speaking in English. Because when you're in there with the examiner, you have to shunaqa ko'rsatishlik kerak o'zinglarni. Sizlarga ona tilda bo'lib qolsin-da ingliz tili. Suvdek chiqarishlik kerak. Chunki o'shanda sizlar confident bo'lasizlar. Confidence juda ham important narsa. Faqat test emas, o'zi in life confidence important. Lekin ingliz tilini bunchalik zo'r bilmasanglar ham confidence bo'lsa, o'xshaydi-da. Anaqa bilan relationship qurishinglar kerak. Examiner bilan relationship qurib, ular bilan comfortable bo'lib o'tirishinglar kerak. Examda o'tiraman deb robotga o'xshab o'tirsa, they will know that. Shuning uchun o'zinglarni relax qilib, doesn't matter where you take the exam. What matters is how comfortable you are with yourself, with your knowledge of English. And I 100% agree with what Rustam said. When you're going in to take the exam, learn from those people who have more knowledge, who have done better, because that's the only way you will grow, right? You won't, if you keep making the same mistakes, then learn about that. What are your weaknesses? For example, if you're taking a reading exam, if you're doing the practice reading, and you keep messing up on multiple choice questions, then work on that. Okay? Don't keep taking the same practice test over and over again. Stop, take one test, stop, Look at where you have your mistakes and work on those mistakes. Zoom in on those mistakes. Focus on those. And then when you make it better, when you consistently keep getting good score, then do another practice test. Otherwise, you're just not going to grow. You have to know where your weaknesses are and work on those. So focus should be on improving yourself, your English, and how you do with different question types. Choosing where to take it is a second choice, is a second problem.
Nice. What does the average student lack to get the score they want? Luck.
What they don't have
Yeah, what
in order
they
to
have.
get a good score?
Yeah.
Let me demonstrate that. So I need now a participant, guys, who has money. Who has money? Can you please raise your hand and count that loudly? You, right? So lady, please, can you take out the money that you have? Yes, everything. No, count it, please. How much is that? It's 14,000. Thank you. So now, look, I'm taking all the money and I'm giving it to you. Can you please count this money again? Is that 40,000? Are you sure? Good. I'm now giving it to you. Is that 14,000? It's 14,000. And now pay attention to the case here. 3 people counted the money, but it's still the same. The amount of the money did not increase. And the problem with most of the students that I see is that they focus on just counting the money repeatedly, which means that they focus on doing practice tests a lot, and that's it. So raise your hands if you have done more than 10 practice tests so far. More than 10 practice tests. Raise your hand if you have done more than 20 practice tests. So basically, doing 20 practice tests is more than enough for you to get at least a band 7 or even a band 8. So this is the case. So what students lack when they're preparing for the... Oh, it was your money, right? Sorry. So what students lack when they are preparing for the exam is, I would say, the thinking capacity. That's it. That's it. Do not focus on improving or increasing your ego. Like, oh, now I've just finished one practice test. Okay, now let's get into another one. No, this doesn't work like that. You finish one practice test, then you spend like twice the amount of money on analyzing it. So for me, I would spend 20 minutes on doing passage 1, and then I would spend 1 hour on analyzing this passage. Because this is how you increase the amount of money that you have. This is how you stop counting it. So the first thing is, when doing everything, focus on analysis, focus on getting feedback and learning something out of it. I would say this is the best way, guys.
An average student cannot increase his score for many obvious reasons. I do agree with Shox, because we really focus on practice tests. But one good way which I could suggest is you should play with your brains. Our brains, this fantastic creation, usually comprehends something which it likes. Now I started suggesting anyone who is going to take the IELTS, focus on the topic or topics your brain comprehends, your brain likes. I'm interested in economics. I watch podcasts. I read about economics. If you like sports, do that in that topic. If you like music, there is loads of stuff on YouTube or through Google. This is the first case. Another case, again, please concentrate on correcting your errors. For this, surround yourselves with teammates, classmates, with peers who are doing that. Fewer practice tests, more self-improvement, vocab, more seeing the context, listening to the context, writing about the context. Try from the first course, which is your topic. You will soon see a lot of progress. Instead of spending 5 months on this training, you could spend 1 month and succeed it. In my case, I remember my first IELTS test many years ago, about 10 years or something ago. It was 7.5. I just did 2 practice tests. because my nights were devoted to watching the TV show Friends. 10 seasons, about 250 episodes. In my life, I think I watched all 10 seasons, all episodes, 35 or 40 times. That's why listening has become kind of automatic. I can close my eyes and do the listening module, for example. Why the Friends? Because it has every topic possible. Formal, informal, daily, or academic. That's why first, please find your topic, focus on that in the English language. This is my best suggestion. Thank you.
Xo'p. Endi to'g'risi hamma xohlaydigan narsa nima bo'ladi? Yuqori ball olish, to'g'rimi? Shuning uchun kamchilik to'g'risida gapirib edik. Men sizlarga aytadigan narsa, yuqori ball olgan odamlarda ko'rgan narsamni aytishim mumkin. Chunki yuqori ball olgan odamlar bilan ko'pchiligi bilan ko'rishib, gaplashib, mana o'zingizlarni ham oldinglarda o'tiribdi. Bilasizlarmi nima? Ularni hammasini birlashtirib turadigan bitta xislati bor hammasini. Nima deb o'ylaysizlar? Kimlar ham dagatka bormi? Disiplin. To'g'ri. Yana qanaqa variantlar? Hop, yana qanaqa variantlar? Hop, yana bormi? Okay. Hamma variantlar yaxshi, yomon emas, lekin men ko'rgan, men bilgan narsa hammaligini dunyo qarashligi keng. Bular fokusi, asosiy fokusi tilga berishmagan, asosiy fokusi bilimga berishgan. Bilim deyotganda faqat ingliz tilini o'rganishda emas, bilim dunyo qarash, dunyo bilimini o'rganishga harakat qilishgan. Hozirgi men Rustam aka aytganda bitta sohani tanlashgan bo'lsa, shu soha bo'yicha o'rganishgan. Ya'ni ular bilan suhbatlashganingizda ingliz tilida suhbatlashasizlarmi, o'zbek tilidan, rus tilidan suhbatlashasizlarmi? Bilimi bor. Faqat ingliz tilida so'zlarni yotlab, grammatikani o'rganib, praktika qilib o'rganinglar bilan katta ballga erishmaysizlar. Agar dunyo qarashingiz keng bo'lmasa, agar imtihonda nima yozishni bilmasanglar, nima javob berishni bilmasanglar, vaziyatdan chiqishni bilmasanglar, ishoninglar, katta ball ola olmaysizlar IELTSda. IELTSni esingizdan chiqarmanglar. Mana bizda ham boshqa podkastlarimizda ham shu mavzuni ko'targanmiz. O'zi testda ikki xil test bor-da dunyoda. Bunda ustubi bo'yicha yozgan. Knowledge based bor, skill based bor. Bizda mana DTMlarda topshiradigan testlar o'zi knowledge based hisoblanadi. Ya'ni savol bor, 5 ta yoki 4 ta varianti bor. Biliming javobni bilsang bilding, bilmasang yo'q. Ugatga, ya'ni topasan-da xayoldan. Skills based IELTS ga o'xshaganda sizlarni mahoratingiz tekshiriladi. U yerda biliming bor yo'qligidan emas, biliming bo'lishi mumkin, lekin u bilimingni ishlatishga mahorating bo'lmaydigan bo'lsa, yuqori ball ola olmaysan. Tushunarli? Endi mahoratini ko'rsatadigan narsa bu bilimini yuqori bo'lishi, dunyo qarashini yuqori bo'lishi, hozirga aytilayotgan. Shuning uchun ingliz tilini o'qiyotganingizda ko'proq mavzular o'qinglar. Geografiya o'qiysizlarmi, tarix o'qiysizlarmi, ekonomika o'qiysizlarmi, meditsina o'qiysizlarmi, farqi yo'q. Qaysidir mavzuni olib, o'sha narsani o'rganib, shu narsani ingliz tilida ham o'rganishga harakat qilinglar. Chunki tushunmagan narsalarni ingliz tilida o'rganayotgan bo'lsanglar, foydasi yo'q. Ertaga esingizdan chiqarib yuboradi. Ertaga esingizdan chiqib ketadi. Shuning uchun qolgan fanlar bo'yicha ham biliminglarni yaxshilashga harakat qilinglar. Bu bizning maslahatim.
I just wanted to add, I actually want to say exactly what you were saying. So, eng important narsa bu the perspective. Endi ko'pchilik men studentlarim so'rashadi, qanaqa qilib perspektiv oshirsam bo'ladi. Ular 16-17 yosh bo'ladi. If you're older like me, I'm 35 by the way. If you're older, you're naturally exposed to different things in life, right? You've been through a lot more than people who are 17 or 16. So in the United States, how I broadened my perspective, for example, is through school. We read a lot of articles. We learned from different fields, technology, environment. We did essays. We read books and reports on all these different topics. So those were already in me. All I had to do was kind of learn how to give answers, especially in writing. Who has a problem with writing and speaking? Yes? Okay. Why? Why do you think you have a problem with writing or speaking? Who knows? Who can tell me? Yes. Dunyo qarash keng. Okay. Running out of ideas. Okay. What else? What are some reasons why you have a problem with writing or speaking? Lack of ideas, okay? This is natural. If you don't have any ideas, it's expected. So how do you fix it? Because you're so young and you're trying to get a high score in IELTS, you have to expose yourself to as many different perspectives as you can. You have time, okay? Don't rush to take IELTS. IELTS will still be there when you're ready, okay? Focus on learning as much as you can. Not just in English, but just to broaden your perspective. Dunyo qarash kengaytirish uchun. Buning uchun yangi dil o'qinglar, articles o'qinglar, report o'qinglar, har xil kitoblar o'qinglar. Faqat sizlarga qiziqqan soha emas, har xil sohalardan o'qib ko'ringlar. O'zinglarni qiynab, katta kitob o'qiyman demanglar. Start small. Ozgina articlelardan o'qinglar. Shu article'ni o'qidim bo'ldi emas. Shu article'ga what do you think? What's your opinion about this article, right? For example, you learn about what Elon Musk is doing, right, with SpaceX. And they have this neuron thing that you put some kind of chip in people's brains. He is doing things like that. Read about that. What do you think? And then write about it in English. Okay? Write about what you think about what Elon Musk is doing or what Bill Gates is doing, all those big people in the world. Because that will help you to formulate ideas. You don't have a lot of time in IELTS writing and speaking to sit down and think about what to write about, right? So you have to be able to come up with one or two ideas quickly in your mind. Because if you don't, you're going to have a hard time with the time management. So focus on increasing your knowledge of the world and giving your own opinion, writing about it, so that when you're given the question, you have a few ideas ready. And pick the easy ones for you, for writing and speaking. You're not graded on how complicated your ideas are. You're graded on your English proficiency. And if you think of a few ideas that are easy for you, the chances are you'll be able to express them better. Okay?
Yeah, I guess my colleagues spoke really well about IELTS and how do you need to prepare for it. I simply don't know what to add, honestly. And I think that the point about perspective is very insightful. It's very important, especially after you take a test and when you apply abroad, as I mentioned. That's my expertise, unfortunately. But perspective will be incredibly important. Looking at things in different angles, trying to formulate stories will be the skills that will be necessary for your future application. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's all about perspective, looking at things from different angles. Yeah, and we also teach that at Freshman Academy too. So, yeah.
Shu o'rinda writing bo'yicha motivation berish esimga tushib qoldi. Chunki aksariyat tan olaman, o'zim ham writing qismini yomon ko'rardim. Deyarli tayyorgarlik ko'rmasdim, lekin yozardim. Task 1, task 2. To'xtovsiz o'z ustimda ishlaganim uchun men bu motivatorlarni tomosha qilib turaman. Shulardan biri bu Jordan Peterson. Writing bo'yicha shunaqa kuchli motivatsiya berdiki, uning so'ziga ko'ra writing nima uchun kerak? Imtihon uchun, test uchun emas. Sen yozganingda hayotingni bir shaklga keltira olasan. Sen yozsang, hayoting xatolarga to'la ekanligini ko'rasan va o'shalar ustida ishlashni boshlaysan. Sen yozsang, atrofingni kimlar o'rab turibdi? Ko'zingga ravshan ochiladi. Agar sen yozsang, kelajak haqida yaxshiroq o'ylay olasan. Agar sen yozsang, hozirgi maqsadlaringga tezroq erisha olasan. Shundan keyin writingni yomon ko'rasanmi degan kabi leksiyasi bor. Rahmat.
And the next question is with regard to the technical stuff. And the question is, what if I'm not satisfied with the band score I got? What should I do and how appeal system work?
Bu savol menga ekan. Xo'p. Agar mabodo test topshirganinglardan keyin olgan ballinglarga qoniqmagan bo'lsanglar, birinchi navbatda maslahat beraman. Men o'qituvchilar bilan maslahatlashinglar. Hissiyotga berilmanglar. Ishonaman, to'g'ri, hamma katta ball olishga harakat qiladi, lekin real vaziyatga ham qarash kerak. O'qituvchilar bilan gaplashib, maslahatlashinglarda, agar o'qituvchilar sizlarga maslahat berayotgan bo'lsa, haqiqatda bu yerda xato bo'lishiga balkim ko'zim yetyapti yoki imtihon paytida yozgan, javob berganini analiz qilinglar-da, keyin qaror qabul qilinglar. Qaror qabul qilganingizdan keyin test markaziga murojaat qilasizlar. Test markaziga murojaat qilishinglarning har xil yo'li bor. Telefonda, emailda, telegramda, xohlaganingizcha. Proses qanaqa bo'ladi? Bitta forma bor, ya'ni apellyatsiyaga topshiriladi. Endi bizning tilimizda EOR deyiladi. Bu Inquiry on Result degan narsa bo'ladi. O'shani to'ldirib berasizlar i to'lov qilasizlar apellyatsiya uchun. Ko'pchilik to'lov qilasizlar deganda ko'pchilik xafa bo'ladi. Nimaga yana to'lov qilishim kerak, tekshirib berishga deydi. Uning ham hozir javobini beraman. Apellyatsiyaga topshirayotganingizda 4 ta komponentdan любойni tanlasanglar bo'ladi. Ya'ni 4 ta komponentda 4 tasini ham qayta tekshirishga berishinglar mumkin. Bittasini, ikkitasini xohlasanglar 3 tasini. U o'zingizga havola. Bundan vaqti ham o'zgarmaydi, qiymati ham o'zgarmaydi, proses ham o'zgarmaydi. Endi qayta tekshirishga topshirdim degani nima degani? Bu, masalan, agar sizlarni birinchi imtihon topshirishingizda bir nechta odam qatnashadi, bahoylarni tekshirishga. Masalan, listeningda bitta odam qatnashadi, readingda boshqa odam tekshiradi, writingda даже task 1 ham boshqa odam tekshiradi, task 2 ni boshqa odam tekshiradi. Ya'ni writingda bitta odam buni ham tekshirmaydi. Shu darajada nima qilingan? Speakingda o'zingizlar bilasizlar, bitta ekzaminator qatnashadi. To есть, mana shu 4 ta komponent topshirayotgan nechta odam qatnashgan bo'lsa, qayta topshirayotganingizda boshqa xuddi shunaqa komanda oladida sizlarning ballinglarni, qilgan ishinglarni boshqatdan tekshirib chiqadi. Mana ularning vazifasi. Nimaga pul to'layman deganda, ya'ni birinchisida nima ish qilingan bo'lsa, ikkinchisida ham xuddi shu ish qilib chiqiladi. Speaking kelib yozganingizda rekord qilinadi. E'tibor bergan bo'lsangiz, speaking kirishingizdan boshlab chiqib ketguningizgacha speaking rekord bo'ladi. Agar speaking rekord bo'lmasa, imtihon bo'lmadi deb hisoblanadi, ishoninglar. Agar recording bo'lmasa, qaytib kelib boshqatdan imtihon topshiradigan paytlari ham bo'lganda, shunaqa joylari bor. Ya'ni endi nimaga rekord kerak deganda, mana shu IOR ga topshirganingizda, apellyatsiyaga topshirganingizda senior examinator deyiladi. Examinatorlar opitnirog'i, ya'ni ko'proq opitga bo'lgani, boshqatdan eshitib chiqadi. Nima savol berildi? Qanaqa javob berildi deb oladi, o'zini bahosini beradi. Keyin solishtiriladi birinchisi ikkinchisiga. Agar farqi bo'lsa, haqiqatda ekzaminator baholayotgan paytda xato ketgan bo'lsa, writingda, speakingda, listening, readingda shu xatoni to'g'rilab berishadi. Agar xato bo'lmasa, yo'q, tekshirib chiqdik, xato bo'lmadi deb sizlarga nima deydi, o'zini xatini, o'zini murojaatini beradi. Bitta farqi nimadaki, agar nobodo yarim ballga bo'lsa ham ballingiz o'zgarsa, haligi apellyatsiya uchun to'lagan pulingiz 100% qaytarib beriladi. Ya'ni bu yerda xato nima deyiladi? Xato test markazi tomonidan o'tkazilgan ekan, shuning uchun sizlar bu narsaga to'lamaysizlar deydi-da, pulinglarni qaytarib beradi. Lekin xato qilinmagan bo'lsa, men qayta tekshirishga xizmatimni qilib berdim deydi-da, o'shanga xizmati uchun shu pulni olib qoladigan joyi bor. Bitta shu yerda o'rinli narsasi qanaqa? Apellyatsiyaga topshirish imtihon topshirganingizdan keyin 6 hafta ichida bo'lish kerak. Bu degani taxminan plus minus olganda qancha 1,5 oy bo'lyaptimi? 1,5 oy ichida topshirishingiz kerak. Agar shu muddatdan o'tib ketadigan bo'lsa, apellyatsiyaga afsuski arizanglar qabul qilinmaydi. Shuning uchun joyida srazu hal qilinglar shu masalani.
Как мы можем вступить в Freshman Academy и можете как-то немного информации давать?
Yes, of course. I can answer in Russian or in English. Which one would be better? Unfortunately, I don't speak Uzbek.
English.
English. All right. So there are many ways to join Freshman Academy. First of all, we offer a wide range of courses, mostly tackling SAT, and we also prepare students for their undergraduate programs. As I mentioned before, also have classes designed for students who already got 7.5 for IELTS, so you can join through that. And we also offer free classes once per week on all of our courses. So let's say if you want to learn how to, where to start with SAT or where to go after IELTS 7.5, then you can definitely check out those resources. They'll be available at freshman.academy on our website. The other way to join will be to join through a broad camp. Some of you might already know a broad camp is a very popular camp in Uzbekistan. There were already around 600 students who kind of went through that camp, and it was also designed with the partnership of Freshman Academy. We designed the curriculum, we prepared the mentors, some of them are here, very happy to see them. So yeah, there are many ways to join us. You can also reach out to me and I will tell you more.
What was your IELTS score?
Oh, my IELTS score, it was 7.5. And usually 7.5 is the score that is acceptable for most elite universities, including Harvard, Princeton, Yale. 7 or 7.5. With Harvard, it's tricky. It's 7.5. Yeah, and then but IELTS is only a small part of your application, and I want you to get to like put an accent on it. It's just the first step, and there are so many more steps that someone needs to take. But I have to say, our students did it. Students from public schools did it. Students from villages who had internet just recently, a few years ago, they also managed to do it. So I think that it is in your ability, definitely.
Hi everyone, and only 14 days left to my exam, and what kind of activities should I do in the 14 days? Can you give me some advice, please? It's question for all of them.
Relax, please. Quiet your mind. That will be my advice. Hayolinglar joyida bo'lsa, ozgina hayajonni pasaytiringlar. Ishoninglar, imtihonda eng katta sizlarga xalaqit beradigan narsa bu hayajon. O'rganayotganinglar, praktika qilayotganinglar, bu hammasi hayajonni pasaytirish uchun qilayotgan harakatlar. Shuning uchun ilojisi bo'lsa hayajoninglarni pasaytiringlar juda ham. Xo'p, dam oling.
Mr. Akmal asosiy gapir bo'ldilar. 2 hafta to'g'ri bu insonning o'ziga bog'liq. Men o'zim hayot davomida qattiqroq o'qiganim uchun men uchun katta muddat hisoblanadi. Ancha narsa ulguraman. Endi yoshi nechida? 16 da. Juda yaxshi yosh. Baraka toping. Ismingiz nima? Solixon. Soraxon. Risola. Nice to meet you. Birinchi o'rinda Akmal aka aytganlaridek, relax, o'zi bo'sh tutingda, qaysi joylarda ko'proq xato chiqib turibdi, shular ustida ishlang. Listening section masalan bo'lishi mumkin, map, plan, kamchiliklar, murakkabroq joylari, reading qismi va bilmadim, writing modulda balkim task 1, task 2 da sal bosh qotirsangiz foyda bersa kerak. Undan tashqari siz o'rningizda bo'lsam, qaysi modul men kuchliroqman, o'shaning ustida bosh qotirardimda, kirgan paytimda shu uchalasini birinchi o'rinda urgan bo'lardim. Undan tashqari men ko'p maslahat beraman, listening module, reading modulda ekzaminator o'ta ansaki. Ekzaminator o'zini opinioni yo'q. Birinchi o'rinda listening, readingni yaxshi urib qo'yishingiz kerak. Eng zo'r maslahat shu. Chunki masalan 8.5-9 urib qo'ysangiz, ular narigi ikkita modulga katta ball tashlaveradi. Chunki speakingda biz ko'p kuzatamiz, BCda, IDPda, Toshkentda, Qozog'istonda, Londonda topshirgan o'quvchilarimiz bor. Mana bir 17 yildan beri IELTS bo'yicha dars bergan bo'lsam, baribir human factor bor. Speaking module va writing module. Chunki inson baribir examinator qualified bo'lsa ham baribir o'zining fikri bor. Undan tashqari ba'zan gambling bo'lib qolishi mumkin. Chunki ko'rganmiz, bugun part ustida shug'ullantirgan bolamizga o'sha to'pi ertasiga tushgan joylari ham bo'lgan. Demak, siz maqsadingiz qaysi joyda xatolar qilib tursiz, shular ustida ishlang, o'shani yaxshilang. Listening, reading maslahatim yaxshi urib qo'ying. Omad.
So I see that you have that kind of worry and fear in your eyes before the test. I had the same. Look, the best way to get rid of this fear is to go for it. Okay? Mana bizda arachnofobiya degan narsa bor, kim eshitgan bo'lsa, ya'ni bu spiderlardan qo'rqish bo'lar ekanda. Uni eng zo'r yo'li ekan mana shu qo'rquvni yo'qotishi, bu terapeutda o'sha saveti bo'ladi. Ya'ni seans bo'ladi, o'sha qo'rqadigan odam keladi, birinchi o'rinda unga plastic spider ko'rsatadi. Keyin baqirib boradi, nima qilsan deb. They have a session, they talk about it, then the therapist explains that okay, it's just a plastic, it doesn't touch you. Then next time trigini olib kelishar ekan. Trigini olib keladi, faqatgina ustiga buni mana xuddi shunaqa krужка olib qo'yadi, yetolmaydi. Qara, bu senga yetolmaydi deydi. Shundan keyin уже bir necha vaqt ketgandan keyin alohida realniy spider olishadi, o'shandan keyin ko'rsatadi, then he or she gets used to it. So my advice for you the same. Go for the test. Take mock tests. Mana siz nimaga qo'rqasiz? Speaking examdan, chunki bu siz uchun yengillik. Topshirganmisiz oldin? Yo'q. Because it's new. So make it usual case. Siz o'rningizda bo'lganimda menda 2 hafta vaqt bo'lsa, примерно 5-6 ta mock topshirgan bo'lardim. Bir ikkitasini uyda, qolganlarini hamma uchun sentrda, bo'lmasa bitta odamdan so'rab, tepamda misol uchun tur, davay 10 ta bola oldimga kelib tur, men shu narsani topshiray deb. Yoki imtihon topshiradigan joyingizga boring. Akmal aka, shu narsaning iloji bo'ladimi? Bo'ladi. Все, o'sha yoqqa borib, misol uchun har kuni yarim soat, 1 soat o'sha atmosferasini o'zida aylanib yuradigan bo'lsangiz ham, you get used to the place. It will be like your home or a classroom where you go to school. Okay? Good luck.
Yeah, just again, few things that I can chip in. I really like that my colleagues also mentioned that you can just simply go for it and see what happens. But I think that there is a bigger philosophy in doing that because over time, when you do something that seems scary, that seems like something that you're not qualified for, eventually you learn that you can prove yourself wrong. There are a lot of ideas that we have about ourselves, that we are unable, that we are not fit for the job. But when you just do it, you are starting to realize that you can prove yourself wrong, that you can be wrong, and those ideas might be wrong too. I think it's in your ability to get a good test, and yeah, all the best with your IELTS score.
Risalat, the only thing that I recommend you do is, like I said, rest, relax. Okay, it's just an exam. It's not the end of the world. You can take it again if you want. One thing that I do want to point out: there's a motivational speaker. I don't know if you know. His name's Brian Tracy. He's very popular in the United States. So Brian Tracy, he has a book called "Eat That Frog." You've heard of it? I heard somebody talking about it. It's Eat That Frog. What he's trying to say is everybody has something that they have to do that's in their brain, but they try to avoid it, right? For example, if writing is my weak point, and it is, that's the one thing that I try not to do because it won't make me feel good. You know, what makes me feel good is keep doing listening tests or speaking or reading because I know I can get a good score. But that thing that I have to fix, I try not to do. Not me, but like in general. So that's the frog that I have to eat. So once I take care of that, then I can relax because the other parts are taken care of. So find your frog and eat it. Okay? It will help you feel less stressed. What I did, my score was 8, 8.5, 8.5, and then 9. The difference between the last 8.5 and 9 was 3 weeks. My writing score went up from 7 to 8. That's what I focused on for 3 weeks. I didn't do any reading, I didn't do any listening or speaking. I focused just on writing because that's where I had my frog. So I recommend you do the same.
Какое было у вас финансовое положение и что делать ребятам, которые не из богатой семьи, но при этом они желают учиться в крутом университете? Да, вот этот вопрос.
Самые топовые университеты — это те университеты, которые, как говорят, need blind. Need blind — это значит то, что университетам не важно, сколько зарабатывает ваша семья, они вам дадут финансовую помощь на том моменте, где вам она нужна. То есть, к примеру, моя семья, она зарабатывала меньше $35 тысяч в год, и мне дали полное финансирование. У кого-то это больше, поэтому им дают меньше финансирования. Но это только самые топовые университеты, топ-20, топ-30 университетов Америки и мира. Для остальных университетов, к сожалению, есть только маленькие гранты. И гранты, которые не покрывают полную стоимость. Поэтому, если вам нужны полные гранты, я бы сказал, пытайтесь получить хорошие скоры, пытайтесь продвинуться в топ университеты. Конечно, это очень большая цель. не все это смогут пройти, и у нас только десятки могут пройти через этот путь. Но я уверен, что те навыки, которые вы приобретете, проходя через этот путь, будут вам очень нужны в будущем, даже если вы не поступите в тот университет, который вы хотите. И у нас было очень много случаев, когда студенты не поступали. Что-то у них не хватило, какого-то маленького аспекта. Но в то же время они преуспели в каких-то других сферах и сейчас очень успешны в Узбекистане и в СНГ.
Буквально недавно у них был случай. Девочка, которую я сам лично знаю, с которой мы учились в одной школе в Самарканде, она, правда, училась на пару лет младше меня, Паризода Асатулаева. Она поступила в классный университет, ей дали полное финансирование. И это именно тот случай, когда человек, ребенок, грубо говоря, ей столько же, сколько и вам, сделала себя сама, нашла, выучила, прошла этот путь. И не это ли пример того, что каждый из вас может получить то, что желает, просто на своей энергии, просто на мотивации, которую он получает, и на желании стремиться кверху? Да, это именно то и есть, поэтому просто похлопайте сами себе, потому что каждый из вас может так же.
Hello, colleagues. My name is Alaberde. My surname Yagmurov. Can I give my two questions? Так, which results can I speak? Ой, получить. Да. Сейчас. Which results do you receive if I finished pre-intermediate level? IELTS, maybe TOEFL. Which results of IELTS, maybe TOEFL, do you receive if I finished pre-intermediate level?
You're saying you're the pre-intermediate level, right? Pre-intermediate level. Pre-intermediate. And you want to take the IELTS and you want to know what score to get. You can get. Okay. First of all, I have to stay honest. First, you have to work a little bit on your speaking skills and sharpen your vocabulary skills at this moment. Because whenever students start claiming, I am the intermediate level, I am the pre-intermediate level, they sometimes want me to change their level. I start my exam testing with them from speaking only. As soon as they start talking, I have to see it, and then I can say you are in this level or you can jump to the next level. First of all, please sharpen your speaking skills. And it's really doubtful to say what score exactly you can get. Usually it's like 5 or 5.5, I think. Maybe. Because I have never tested you on the IELTS format. Let's first take it, and maybe the picture will be clearer for me. Thank you. No, this is very approximate. Very approximate because I have never seen you trying the IELTS. First you have to try it, please, and then maybe the picture is clearer.
Добавлю к этому кое-что. В Internation у нас есть услуга под названием IELTS Practicum. Это мок-тест для наших студентов. Для студентов на уровне IELTS этот экзамен бесплатный, но если есть желающие с уровня ниже, вы всегда можете приобрести билет и сдать этот экзамен. Стоимость 150 тысяч, куда включены main part и также speaking. Speaking время и место выбираете сами для вашего удобства. Результаты выходят за 3 дня. Если у вас есть желание сдать IELTS до того, как вы перейдете на этот уровень, то всегда, пожалуйста, мы всегда рады видеть.
Shu o'rinda bitta man qo'shimcha qilay. To'g'risini aytganda borib, pre-intermediate bo'lgan urovendagi odamlarga IELTS topshirishni maslahat bermayman, lekin bu meni shaxsiy fikrim. Shu paytgacha ham ko'p o'qituvchilarni, ko'p ustozlar bilan gaplashganmiz. Pre-intermediate bu ingliz tilini hali juda ham basicda biladi deganida. Tushunarlimi? To есть bu yerda hozir aytilayotgan, endi to'g'ri bilimingizni tekshirish o'zi kerak, ko'rish kerak, analiz qilib ko'rish kerak bo'ladi-ku, lekin pre-intermediate bilan yuqori ball olganlarni ko'rmaganman. Yuqori ball olgan deganimda ham bor-ku, даже elementarni 5, 5,5 ola olmaydiganlarni bilaman-da. 5,5 bu nima deydi, juda ham basic ingliz tilida o'qishni balkim boshlashi mumkin degan narsani bildiradi-da. Shuning uchun maslahatim pre-intermediate o'qiyotgan odamlarga shoshib IELTS ga o'tib ketib qolmanglar. Undan ko'rasi urovinglarni yuqori darajaga ko'taringlar. Ana undan keyingina IELTS kurslariga o'tib IELTS haqiqiysini topshirishga harakat qilinglar. Vaqtinglarni, pulinglarni, asabiylarni ham ketkazmanglar. Maslahatim shu.
Hozir hammaga ma'lumki, shunaqa o'quv sentrlar chiqqan, 40 kunda 6+ IELTS yoki 30 kunda 7+ IELTS natijalarini qo'lga kiritishingizga yordam beramiz degan. Va shulardan shu qatori meni ikkita o'rtog'im ham shunaqa o'quv sentrga borishyapti. Va u yoqda dars jarayonlari har kuni bir haftada 6 kun 3 soatdan 5 soatgacha davom etadi. Va homework, ya'ni uyga vazifalari ham kamida 2 soat vaqt oladigan uyga vazifalar. Bu har kun davom etadi va ular aytishyaptiki, bir kunda 7 soat, 9 soat shug'ullanaman va borgan sari qanaqadir menga qiyin bo'lib, IELTS ga bo'lgan qiziqish tushib boryapti. Savolim shuki, studentlarga qancha vaqt o'qish bilan shug'ullanish tavsiya qilinadi? O'quvchilar 10 soat, 12 soatlik dars qilib, qanaqadir foyda olishi mumkinmi yoki 3 soat, 4 soat dars qilib rezultatga yetish mumkinmi? To'g'ri yo'naltirilib.
Yanchi Mamura opa o'qituvchilar o'zi javob bersa yaxshi bo'lardi. Mamura opa bordimi?
Assalomu alaykum. Bu savolni mendan rosa ko'p so'rashadi. 2 haftada, 3 haftada, 1 oyda IELTS ball ko'tarsa bo'ladimi? Bo'ladi. Bu hammasi o'ziga bog'liq. O'quv sentrlar nima uchun? O'quv sentrlar sizga time management o'rgatishadi, strategiyalarni o'rgatishadi. Ustozlar sizlarga o'zligi yurib o'tgan yo'llardan o'rgangan lessonligini o'rgatishadi. Lekin baribir hammasi o'zingizga dependent qiladi. Uyda misol uchun dars qilsangiz ham effective dars qilishingiz kerak-da. Effective dars qilish qanaqa? Aytganimizdek, practice exam olasiz, mock exam olasiz. Qilgan xatolaringizni ko'rib, shuni ustida ishlashingiz kerak. Kerak bo'lsa bir haftada ham tayyor bo'lsangiz bo'ladi katta balga. Agar faqat shuni bilib olishingiz kerak-da. Qayerda xato qilyapman va nimaga shu xato bo'lyapti? Ustozlardan so'raysiz, feedback olasiz. Ustozlar shuning uchun yaxshi, sizga feedback berishadi. Keyin qayerda xato qilayotganingizga prosta sizni nima deydi? Clear up qilishadi xatolaringizni. Keyin shuni ustida ishlash, bular yordam berishadi, ham o'zingiz ham tushunib yetishingiz kerak shuni. Misol uchun matching headings problemmi? Matching headings problem bo'lsa nimaga problem bo'lyapti? Problem nimada? To'g'ri reading qilmayapsizmi? Reading comprehension problemmi? Shu hammasini nima deydi? Filter qilishingiz kerak problemlaringizni. Keyin shuni ustida ishlashingiz kerak. Lekin bir oyda IELTS shuncha bo'ladi, IELTS buncha bo'ladi, bular hammasi o'ziga bog'liq, lekin structure bilan ishlash kerak, effective tayyorlanish kerak.
Xo'p, boyagi birinchi aytgan kursingizga misol keltiraman. Misol uchun men o'zim hozir 1 oy ichida 8+ degan kurs ochsam bo'ladi. Va 7,5 likni qabul qilaman. Ya'ni tushunasizmi, ularning hozir ko'pincha strategiyasi ham bu yerda shu, ya'ni misol uchun o'sha masalan endi 1 oyda bu yerda 6+, 1 oyda bu yerda 7+ deyshadi. Bularni keyin reklamaga ham chiqarib olishadi, lekin bu yerda 15 ta o'quvchi kiradigan bo'lsa, undan bittasi misol uchun 2tasi olishi mumkin. Ular kirayotganda ham ko'pincha o'sha bazasi bor bo'lib kiradi. Shuning uchun ham u kunga qarab turib ham bu umuman qarash kerak emas. Misol uchun men hozir bu yerda bir haftalik 10 kun bu yerda o'qisam, все mana bo'lib balom 0.5 ko'rsatdi. Mana sizga oddiy misol keltiraman. Guided hours degani bor, Cambridge'ni o'zi shuni chiqargan ekan. Aytib qo'yibdi, siz agar C1 olmoqchi bo'lsangiz, примерно 7-8 soat ishlashingiz kerak. Ya'ni bu degani, agar siz kuniga 3 soatdan dars qiladigan bo'lsangiz, примерно bu 200 kundan oshiq bo'lar ekan. Mana shuni hisoblasangiz bo'ladi, lekin no degan joyi bor. Dars qilish farqi bor-da. Mana ko'raman, men o'quv markaziga kelishadi, misol uchun 8 soatlab, 10 soatlab dars qilib yurgan bolalar bo'lardi. Lekin ular muammosi nimada bilasizmi? Ular student bo'lib o'rganadi. Ya'ni student bo'lib deganligim faqatgina berilgan narsa bilan bu yerda kifoyalanib qolishadi. Misol uchun ustoz bo'tib aytishi mumkin, davay kelgin, 5 ta practice test qilib kelasan yoki misol uchun 100 ta bo'tda so'z yodlab kelasan deb. O'shanga 8 soat ketkazadi, o'rganadi, lekin kursni tugatgandan keyin ham ball o'smaydi. Nimaga? Chunki ular mas'uliyatni birinchi o'rinda o'ziga olmayapti. Ya'ni faqatgina ustoz berayotgan narsa bilan kifoyalanib qolyapti. Misol uchun practice test qilishganda ham boyatda bo'tda buni analizi bor. So'z yodlashganda ham buni misol uchun short term memory ga qo'yish bor, long term memory ga qo'yish bor. Bittasi 100 ta so'z yodlab turib, buni keyingi hafta chiqarib yuborish mumkin esidan. Bittasi esa 100 ta so'z emas, misol uchun 30 ta so'z yodlasin, lekin keyingi hafta ham esda qoldiradigan qilib aktiv bo'tda yodlashi mumkin. Shuning uchun ham mana bu hozir 708 soat degani ham juda bir o'zgaradi. Siz qanchalik bu yerda kачественный ishlab turib, qanchalik siz qilayotgan narsangiz sizga foyda beryapti yoki yo'q, shu narsani analiz qilib boradigan bo'lsangiz. So that very depends a lot.
Men tajribamda bir o'quvchi bo'lgan. 10 BMTda ishlab yurgan. Keldi Rustam aka 2 haftadan keyin Cambridge'ga uchishim kerak. Scholarship berilgan, BMT to'laydi. IELTS 7,5 kamida olishim kerak. U paytda sal yuqori edi. IELTS topshirib ko'rmagan. 2 hafta tayyorgarlik ko'rdik, bemalol olib chiqdi. Lekin u BMTda ishlab yurgan inson. Har kuni faqat inglizda gapiradigan, communication, muloqot deyarli 10 soat, 12 soat har kuni bo'ladigan inson. Birinchi o'rinda insonning o'ziga bog'liq, o'quvchi qanchalik tayyorgarlik ko'rgan, mana Shohrux bilan I agree. 7,5 kelsa, 2 haftada uni 8 qilish mumkin harakat qilib. Bu ham case by case hisoblanadi. Undan keyin mana Yevropada ishlab chiqilgan sifir formatiga qaraydigan bo'lsak, 7-8 soat degan joylar to'g'ri, mana Shohrux aytganlaridek. Lekin doim eslatib o'tiladi. Depends on the student. Thank you.
Xo'p. Nima deyman? Oson yo'lni qidirmaylik bolalar, to'g'risi. Hayotda osonlik bilan erishilgan narsa osonlikcha yo'qotiladi. Ishoninglar, xuddi shunaqa. Masalan, o'zimda ham tariximda bo'lgan narsa bo'ladi. DTMga kiraman deb, institutga kiraman deb matematikani yotib olib o'qiganmiz-da. Faqat masalalar yechishga. To'g'risini ochig'ini aytganda, institutga kirib olgandan keyin o'sha matematikadan bilmayman 10% ham hamchi qolmagan bo'lsa kerak kallamda bor, chunki ishlatmaganim uchun. Chunki oson kelgan oson narsa ketadi. Endi misol uchun aytayapman. Ingliz tilini sizlar keyingi hayotingizda ham ishlatasizlar. U sizlarni nuqtanglar yoki konечный nuqtanglar, ya'ni maqsadinglar bu IELTS emas u. Maqsadinglar IELTS olgandan keyin yaxshi universitetga kirib o'qish, yaxshi joyda ishlash, yaxshi insonlar bilan muloqot qilish, biliminglarni oshirish, malakanglarni oshirish. Agar biliminglarni yaxshilashmasanglar, shuning o'zida faqat IELTS dan yuqori ball olaman deb faqat shunga fokus qiladigan bo'lsangiz, IELTS olganingizdan keyin shuncha qilgan, bundan oldingi qilgan mehnatinglar hammasi chippakka chiqib ketishi juda ham oson bo'ladi. Shuning uchun oson yo'lini qidirmanglar. Har doim mustahkam yo'lini qidiringlar, o'shanda bo'ladi. Haliga aytgan 3 oy, 2 oy, 1 oy, yarim yil, 1 yil uni ahamiyati bo'lmaydi. Oxir oqibatda maqsadingizga erishsanglar. Tushunarlimi? Shuning uchun oson yo'lini qidirmanglar.
Yana bitta narsa qo'shmoqchiman. Necha oyda olish niyatingiz bo'lsa ham bir marta mock exam olinglar. I recommend bir marta mock exam olinglar with a good instructor who can give you good feedback. Chunki mock exam olmasanglar, baribir u conditionni tushunmaysizlar. Birinchi marta testga kirayotganda baribir nervous bo'ladi odam. Lekin mock exam olsanglar bir marta bo'lsa ham, you kind of get a feel for how it's like. Time management ham work qilishinglar kerak. Undan keyin levelida necha bo'lishini ham taxminan bilib olasiz. Siz aytganingizdek pre-intermediate mi qaysi bo'lsa ham levelni bilib olib, keyin shunga qarab tayinlanasizlar. Lekin I recommend bir marta bo'lsa ham mock exam olinglar. Men o'zim problemimni bilganman. Mock exam olsanglar ham writingda you will know what your weaknesses are. You will remember what you wrote. And when you're studying, the more you learn, the more you figure out what your problem is. That's what happened with my writing. The more I watched videos on how to score well on writing, the more I discovered what my problem was. Was it grammar? Was it sentence structure? Was it the idea generation? Was it organizing your paragraphs? Hammasidan, oy, bildim, mashta xato qilib, bilganman xatolarim nima bo'lganini. And then I looked at videos that would fix those mistakes. 3 weeks. It's possible, but it's up to you. You have to know what your weaknesses are and work on that.
Снова вопрос к фрешману от студента. Как вы можете помочь, если хочешь попасть в фрешман, но родители не верят и не хотят платить за услуги фрешмана?
Oh yeah, this is such a common problem. I'll be very honest. Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of free offers. We have free classes every week, which we teach online. We have a broad camp where you can get our services for free. Of course, it will not be a complete package. You will get the basics of the admissions. But I think that once your parents see the progress in you, they will start believing in you. And to some extent, you will be more in the position to kind of persuade your parents. Because after all, the application process is such a difficult It's such a difficult process, not only for the kids but for the parents, and I do understand them. There are a lot of risks that are involved. Some students take gap years, so for 1 year they just prepare for college, and that's of course something that is incredibly risky for our parents to allow their kids. So in that sense, they just you can get our free resources. Try to improve your English, and maybe you can persuade your parents this way. But even if not, I would say, I guess in the case where, let's say, your parents are not able to afford our full support programs or other programs, sometimes we make deals with our students, say that we will, we had a few cases like this when the students were not able to afford our program, and we'll just recruit them as SAT teachers later on, and they would like teach in our school for a few months, and they will pay back the program this way. So it really depends up to you. We have a variety of different approaches when it comes to that particular problem. Sometimes we talk to parents when it's necessary. So yeah, it just depends on your case. Feel free to reach out if you have problems like this. But do know that you need to have a lot of confidence in yourself before you approach your parents. And will not be able to help you much if you don't do that first step. So yeah.
Mana ozgina qo'shimcha qilib shu yerda. Challenge deb qabul qilinglar shu narsani. Agar ota-onalarni ko'ndira olmayotgan bo'lsanglar, hayotingizda keyingi qadaminglar to'g'risida qanaqa qilib universitetga kirmoqchisizlar, scholarship olmoqchisizlar? O'zingizlar o'ylab ko'ringlar shu narsani. Shuning uchun bu narsani challenge deb olish kerak. Ota-onani ko'ndirish, ota-ona hech qaysi sizlarga pul ketkazishga achinmaydi, vaqt ketkazishga achinmaydi. Prosta ozgina o'zligida ishonch hosil qilishligi kerak-da. Lekin bu ishonchni o'zligida emas, ko'proq sizlarda ko'rish xohlaydi ular. Agar sizlarda o'sha ishonch bo'lsa, hozir aytganlik confidence bo'lsa boru, confidence qayerdan kelib chiqadi? Nimaga Amerikaga ketmoqchisan? Ne bu universitetga kirmoqchisan? Kim bo'lmoqchisan? Qanaqa qilib bo'lmoqchisan? Nima deb bo'lmoqchisan degan savollarga javob topishinglar kerak. Shu savollar ustida o'zingizlar ishlab, o'zingizlarda ishonch hosil bo'lib, ota-onalarga shu narsani yetkazib bersanglar, ishoninglar, ota-onalar yo'l topadi, pul ham topishadi. O'zbekistonning sharoitida hamma ota-ona farzandiga pul tikishga tayyor. Tushunarlimi? Ota-onada muammo emas bu yerda, muammo bu yerda sizlarda. Shuni esdan chiqarmanglar. Shuning uchun nimadir ham erishmoqchimisizlar, ota-onalarni ko'ndirmoqchimisizlar, o'zingizlar ustingizda ishlaylarda bitta challenge qilib olib, ularni ko'ndirishga harakat qilinglar. Kerak bo'lsa, mana hozir aytganlaringiz maslahatga kelinglar. Ustozlarga kelinglar, mana nimalarga bularga kelinglar. E'tiborishadi, yo'l-yo'rog'ini ko'rsatib borishadi. Lekin asosiysi o'zingizlarda, esingizdan chiqarmanglar shu narsani. Xo'p?
Shu yerda kezi kelib qoldi. Confidence qanday orttirish mumkin? Buni ko'plab usullari bor. Biz head teacher sifatida hozir akademik supportlarga training boshlaganman. Ham akademik, ham motivation jihatidan. Bitta kitob bor. Shunga ingliz tilida o'qib turib, kuch berib turib, hayotda tatbiq qilishga harakat qilsanglar, confidence ancha ortadi. Buni biz ko'rdik tajribada. Simon Sinek, Start with Why. Mana shuni o'qib chiqinglar, tavsiya qilaman. Undan keyin ota-onaga yo'liqinglar. Yaxshilab o'qib, tushunib, YouTube'da videolari bor, podcastlar, shug'ullaninglar. Rahmat.
Здравствуйте всем. Рад вас видеть. И мой вопрос. Что я должен сделать сперва? Подготовиться к экзамену и потом сдать МОК экзамен? Или сначала сдать МОК и потом работать над ошибками?
The simple answer is there's this beautiful system in education. Test, teach, test. This is one beautiful way for you to try. First, take the mock test, see preliminarily this initial level, and then practice, and then test yourself again.
I agree 100%. If you have that foundation of English, take a mock exam, then you will, because IELTS is not just about English, it's about exam taking skills, right? You can have the best English in the world, but you will not score well if you don't know how IELTS exam works, right? They have a specific structure, and there are descriptors that tell you exactly what the examiners want. You have to give them what they want, and to do that, you have to take a practice test. But first, work on your English without even thinking about IELTS. Once you're comfortable enough that you can speak and express your opinions and write well, then take a mock exam because you will know the structure. Okay?
Hi everyone, my name is Kamal and I'm also the English teacher, IELTS instructor. I have experience in this sphere and my question is for the Akmal. Some of my students that take an IELTS exam with IDP and they had a struggle with the speaking test exam. They said that we had speaking examiners that were from another countries like Punjab or India, and they have a struggle with the pronunciation of these examiners. And the question is, will it be possible in the future to choose the examiners or speaking examiners? Now we have an option that we hadn't know before, but we have that to take a test online or the face-to-face with speakers. Yeah, but in the future it will be possible to choose the examiners also.
Tushunmaganlarga savol beryapti. Ekzaminatorni tanlash huquqi bormi yo'qmi deb. Birinchi shu yerda e'tiborga berish kerak bo'lgan, aytishim kerak bo'lgan narsa shu yerdaki, masalan, men o'zim ekzaminatorlarni taniyman. Hech qaysi ekzaminatorimiz aksentini men hech sezmaganman-da. Shuning uchun ham bir xillarda kommentariy o'qiganimda o'zi hayron bo'laman. Qaysi ekzaminator to'g'risida gap ketayotganligini-da.
Yeah, I know it's a problem with the students also.
Balkim, shuning uchun bila olmayman. Lekin bitta narsani aytish kerak. Har bitta ekzaminator bu Cambridge tomonidan, IELTS tomonidan kvalifikatsiyaga ega bo'lgan, treningini o'tgan, ingliz tilisi yuqori darajada bo'lgan odamlargina IELTS instruktor bo'la oladi. Ko'chadan prosta kelgan odamni e'tiborga olib, nima deydi, IELTS ekzaminator qilib qo'ya olmaymiz-da. Oddiy misol olganda-da. Keyin yana bittasi o'sha IELTS ekzaminator bo'lishidagi bitta kriteriyalardan bittasi asosiysi emas. Kriteriyalardan bittasi bu tilni bilish darajasi-da. O'sha tilni bilish darajasidan bittasi ham bu pronunciation. Pronunciation yaxshi bo'lmasa, uni berayotgan savollarni hech kim tushunmayotgan bo'lsa, nima deydi, boshqacha qilib aytganda u odam bilan muloqot qilish imkoniyati bo'lmaydigan bo'lsa, birinchidan u ingliz tilisi yaxshi bo'lmaydi. Bu oddiy misol aytganda IELTS dan ham yuqori bora olmaydigan odam bo'ladi-da. Qanaqa qilib bu inson IELTS ekzaminator bo'ladigan savol bo'ladi. Shuning uchun siz aytayotgan narsani yaxshilab bitta o'rganib tekshirish kerak. Bu kimni perspektividan gapirilayotgan narsa bo'ladi deb. Endi ikkinchisiga keladigan bo'lsak, esdan chiqarmaylar. Hamma o'ylaydiki, gap ekzaminatorda deb o'ylaydi-da, yana bir marta. To'g'ri, ekzaminator roli juda ham katta. Xonaga kirganingizda sizlarga kulib tursa, xonaga kirganingizda nima deydi, qo'llari bilan ko'rsatib muloqot qilsa, hammasi yordam beradigan narsa bo'ladi. Lekin bu asosiy narsa emas. Bu sizlarni yuqori ball olishinglar yoki past ball olishinglarga ta'sir qiluvchi asosiy omil hisoblanmaydi. Bu narsani nimaga bu narsani aytayotganimni, hamma bitta narsani aytaymi? Kulgili bo'ladi, balki kulgili bo'lar yoki hayron bo'lar, boshqa narsa bo'lar. Endi ichkarida hech kim shug'ullanmaydi-yu. Bizani ichki nima deydi, qozon deymiz-ku, ichki jarayonlarimizni ko'p bilmaydi-yu. Не факт, что вы получили балл, который вы получили, не факт, что это от того же экзаменатора, с которым у вас была беседа. Bilinglar o'zingizlarga, bu fakt emas. Ya'ni sertifikatingizda turgan ball bu sizlar bilan suhbat qilgan ekzaminator bahosi bo'lmasligi ham mumkin. Sabab bilasizlarmi nimaga? Chunki IELTS da qayta tekshiruv degan jarayonlar bor. Shu 13 kun ichida sizlarni ballinglarga berguningizcha sizlarni ishinglarni boshqa ekzaminator ham tekshirib chiqishi mumkin, boshqa ekzaminator ham ball qo'yishi mumkin. Shuning uchun eng muhim narsa, boshqa ekzaminator ball qo'yadigan bo'lsa yoki mana qayta tekshiruvga tushgan paytda EOR to'g'risida gaplashdik-ku bundan oldin. Boshqa ekzaminator nima muhim? Nima savol berildi? Nima javob berildi, qanaqa qilib javob berildi, qanaqa so'zlar ishlatildi, pronunciation qanaqa edi, kriteriyalarni bilasizlar o'zingizlar. To'g'rimi? 4 ta kriteriyalarni bilasizlar. Mana shu narsa muhim. Qo'linglarni ishlatganinglar, kulganinglar yoki kiygan kiyiminglar, prichoskanglar, ochkinglar ahamiyati bo'lmaydi. Ishoninglar. Qaysi ma'noda ahamiyati bo'lmaydi? Ahamiyati yo'q desam noto'g'ri bo'ladi bu narsa. Sizlar o'ylagan darajadagi muhim narsa emas bu. Chunki oxir oqibatda ochki taqmasanglar ham, kal bo'lsanglar ham, lekin zo'r javob berib chiqsanglar ham ballinglarni olasizlar-da. Tushunyapsizlarmi? Seryozni o'tirib turib, kulmasdan turib ham shunday gapirib chiqib savolga aniq javob bersanglar ham ballinglarni olasizlar-da. Kulmaganinglar uchun, qo'linglarni ishlatmaganinglar uchun yoki prichoskanglar yoqmaganinglar uchun ball qo'yib bera olmaydi. Bu bitta narsa. Ikkinchi narsa, muhit to'g'risida gapiryapmiz. Imtihon topshirayotganda haligi bundan oldin ham suhbatlashganimizda gaplashgan narsa o'zingizlarda his-hayajon kam bo'lish kerak deymiz-da. His-hayajoninglarni to'g'ri, ekzaminator ham, bizani xodimlar ham harakat qilamiz. Maksimalni bu o'sha imtihonga kelgan kuningizda stress kamroq bo'lishi uchun, his-hayajoninglar kamroq bo'lishi uchun harakat qilamiz. No, biz ham insonmiz, ekzaminatorlar ham inson, sizlar ham insonsizlar-da. Hamma ham nima deydi, sizlar o'ylagandek yoki biz o'ylagandek bo'vermaydi. Lekin bitta narsani esdan chiqarmanglar, shu his-hayajonni yo'q qilishga, imtihon kunidagi atmosferani ham yaxshi bo'lishiga sababchilardan bittasi sizlar ham. Настроенияsi yomon odamga kirganingizda kulib bilan qarasanglar ham bor, o'sha odam настроениясini yaxshi qilib olishingiz mumkin-da, ochig'ini aytganda. Tushunyapsizlarmi? Sizlar tez gapirsanglar, aniq gapirsanglar, hech seziganmisizlar? Suhbatdoshinglar bilan gaplashayotganingiz, sizlar tez gapirsanglar, suhbatdoshinglar ham tez gapirib ketadigan bo'lib qoladi. Tushunyapsizlarmi? Shunga o'xshagan narsa. Ya'ni qars ikki qo'ldan chiqadi. Faqat ekzaminator ekan. Ekzaminator bu palacha emas. Ekzaminator sizlarning dushmaninglar emas. Ekzaminator bu sizlarni o'tirib, hozir kirsa men ballini shuni pasaytirib qo'yaman degan niyatda o'tirmaydi. Uni maqsadi sizlar bilan suhbat qilish. Suhbat davomida sizlarni biliminglarni aniqlab baho berish. Ishoninglar, o'sha insonlar bor, ularning ham farzandlari bor, ukalari bor, singlari bor, tanishlari bor, yaqin odamlari bor. Ular ham insonda. Ular hamcha maksimalni sizlarga kelganinglarda bor, qo'ldan kelgancha yordam berishga harakat qiladi. Men bilgan ekzaminatorlar hammasi shunaqa. O'tiradi-da, yordam berishga. Prosta bitta narsani tushuninglar, qonun qoida bor. Chunki IELTS bu standartlashtirilgan test deyiladi. Ya'ni bitta odamga sal ko'proq yordam berib, ikkinchisiga kamroq subyektivnostni olib tashlashga maksimal harakat qilinadigan narsa bu. Shuning uchun ularning ham gapirayotgan gapligi, qilayotgan xatti-harakatligi chegaralangan. Ishoninglar. Shuning uchun esdan chiqarmagan holda his-hayajonni yo'q qilib, imtihonga kelganingiz. Endi ekzaminator tanlash huquqi bo'ladimi, yo'qmi deb kelganingizga aytganda, skoriy всего katta ehtimol bilan bu narsa bo'lmaydi. Bu narsa bo'lmaydi. Chunki bizani IELTS yoki test markazini nuqtai nazaridan hamma ekzaminatorlarning urovini bir xil darajadagi insonlar. To'g'ri tushuninglar, ular bir xil trening olgan, bir xil ball qo'yish kerak. Mabodo agar inson omili sifatida xato qiladigan bo'lsa, xatosini to'g'rilaydigan apellyatsiya bor, qayta tekshiruv bor yoki oddiy misol даже qayta tekshiruvdan keyin yoki apellyatsiyadan keyin qoniqmagan bo'lsa, jalba yozadigan odatinglar bor yoki bizga kelib aytishinglar mumkin bo'ladigan joylari bo'ladi-da bu narsa. Lekin hamma ekzaminator bir xil qaraydi. Irqidan, yoshidan, ko'rinishidan, millatidan qat'iy nazar. Shunaqa darajaga kelamizki, mana qaranglar, e'tibor beradigan bo'lsa, mana Hindistonlik to'g'risida gapirdingiz, boshqa qildingiz. Ishoninglar, bilimli odamning millati ahamiyati yo'q. Men o'zim masalan mana shu sohaga necha yil bo'ldi? 6 yil bo'lgan bo'lsa, kelgan bo'lsa, bilasizmi? O'sha kelgan o'zidan bir harakat qilib orzu qilayotgan narsa o'zi nima? Endi orzu demaymiz-ku, o'ylagan, niyat qilib qo'ygan narsa o'zi nima? O'zbeklarning ichidan ham shunaqa malakali inson chiqsinki, ekzaminator bo'lib, til o'rganayotgan odamlarni baholaydigan odam chiqsin deb niyat qilganmiz. Nimaga o'zbeklarning ichidan chiqish kerak emas? O'rislar bor, ekzaminatorlar. Rossiyada ishlaydigan, Qozog'istonliklar bor. Erondan bor. Ozarbayjonlardan bor. Misrdan bor. Arablarning ichidan bor. Inglizlar bor, Kanadaliklar bor. Lekin nimaga o'zbeklarning ichidan chiqish kerak emas degan savol bor. Shuning uchun kelayotgan odamlar bilan, suhbatlashayotgan odamlar bilan bunaqa kriteriyalarga e'tibor bermanglar. Chunki yoshinglar o'tgan sari, kattalashgan sari aqlingizga yetib boradiki, millatini hech qanaqa ahamiyati bo'lmay qoladi. Qaysi viloyatdan kelganligini ahamiyati bo'lmay qoladi. Qaysi shahardan kelganligini ahamiyati bo'lmaydi. Ishoninglar, bilimli bo'lsanglar, harakatinglar bo'lsa, o'ylagan niyatingizga erishasizlar. Tushunarlimi? Omad hammalarga.
Bitta narsa aytib o'tmoqchi edim. Pronunciation haqida so'radingiz. Pronunciation important. To'g'ri pronounce qilish, lekin aytganlaridek millatda ahamiyat yo'q. So'zlarni har bitta harfi o'zining qoidalari bor, to'g'ri pronounce qilishi. Men aytaman, 4 marta exam olgan bo'lsam, hech qaysi native British yoki English yoki American bo'lmadi. Yoki o'ris bo'ldi, yoki bittasi eronlik bo'ldi, keyin ikkitasi millatini bilmadim, lekin bilardim, ular they're not real Americans or English people. But pronunciation bitta nimaga kerak? Prosta gapirayotgan gapingizni tushunish uchun. Accent degan narsa bor, bu different from pronunciation. Shuning uchun millatingizga qarab, o'zingizning mother language'ingizga qarab, your accent will be different. But it shouldn't affect your pronunciation. And bir nima aytib o'tmoqchiman, men shu darajaga yetishimga bitta sababchi bo'lgan odam shu yerda turibdilar. Mana odamlar hozir keldilar. Adamlar kasblari hozir professorlar. Hawaiida aerospace engineeringdan dars beradilar graduate studentlarga, and he's one of my biggest motivations. He's with my brother. He's a student at the University of Massachusetts in Boston. They're visiting this summer because we just had a baby. And he's here to support us. And I asked him if he could come. He finally found Yandex. Adres topkepsiz. So just wanted to thank him right now and have this opportunity.
Ustoz shunaqa insonki, doim o'quvchilar haqida qayg'uradi. Haqiqiy ustoz ishoninglar kecha uxlamaydi. Qalb go'yoki uxlamaydi. Har bir mana hozir endi bosh ustozman, oldin Chilonzorda dars bergan bo'lsam, 114 ta, 112 ta o'quvchim bo'lgan bo'lsa, qalban uxlamaganmiz. Har bir o'quvchimiz yuksalsa, kuchaysa, chet elda o'qisa, Londonda o'qisa, MITda o'qisa deb havas qilib shunga harakat qilganmiz. Hozirgi zamonda hozir mana motivatsiya bilan yakunlaymiz. Hozirgi zamonda arab tili mushaf Qur'oni Karim bo'yicha kuchli ustozlardan biri Alijon qori. Sizlar tanishlar. Shu darajadaki ustoz bilimlari arablar yalinib bolasini beradi. Arab millati. Bir kun tor doirada majlisda Alloh taolo nasib qildi, biz o'tirdik. Aytib berdilar. Arablar qo'lini ko'tarib, tushirib, har xil usulda duo qiladi. Men arablar ichida kuchli olim bilan suhbatlashishga muyassar bo'ldim. U suhbatdan keyin uzoq duo qildi. Qo'lini ko'tarib, uzoq duo qildi. Arab tilida juda uzoq duo qildi. Duoni oxirida aytdiki, Markaziy Osiyo, O'zbekistondan Ismoil Buxoriy, Termiziy shular chiqqan. Ey Markaziy Osiyoliklar, dunyo sizlarni kutyapti. Yevropalik demadi. Boshqa joylik demadi. Birinchi o'rinda Ismoil Buxoriy kabi, ey mana shu O'zbekistonlik, Markaziy Osiyoliklar, sizlarni dunyo kutyapti dedi. Mana shuni o'zi sizlar uchun kuchli turtki bo'lsa kerak. Biz xohlaymiz nafaqat Westminsterda, Toshkentda, balkim London, Amerikada, Yevropada, Germaniyada borib o'qishinglarni. Kelganinglar uchun rahmat.
Rahmat, Rustam aka. Друзья, спасибо за прекрасные вопросы. Они были очень интересные. Слушая ответы на эти вопросы, я тоже для себя много что подчеркнул. А сейчас момент для очень интересного активити, который подготовил для нас представитель Freshman Academy. Мистер Sega, прошу.
I thought about it, but honestly, now when I'm realizing it, I see all the tired faces here. I realize that the activity that I've prepared is very similar to the talk I prepared for the admissions and how do you need to apply and what the criteria are. This presentation is very similar to the one we did previously. So maybe I would just let the people go get the rest they deserve, and probably we can tag the link to that event in this event's YouTube, because it goes into YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, if you can tag it, because there we go in depth into what the education abroad looks like, how to apply there, all the nicks and tricks. I think that it will be far more valuable to watch that video instead. Unfortunately, that video is in Russian, but the Q&A section is in English. And you can, I hope, rely on your friends who speak Russian to explain you some of the points we mentioned as well.
А сейчас передадим слово Mamura Паге. Она подготовила небольшой спич для вас.
Well, it's not really like a big speech, but it's kind of a conglomeration of what we've been discussing this whole event. One thing that I want to tell you is whatever you do, have a goal. Set a goal for yourself. It's not to take IELTS, not to learn English, but what's your ultimate goal? What are you trying to do in life? And whatever you do should guide you, should kind of push you in that direction, because then you're going to feel accomplished and successful. IELTS is just a ladder it's just a step in a ladder. So to get to your ultimate goal. Don't give up. Whatever you're trying to do, don't give up. If your goal is to get 7, 8, 9, whatever, right? You can do it. It's all inside of you. You have to believe that. And like Mr. Akmal and Rustam said earlier, confidence is from inside of you. It's not from your parents. It's not from your teachers. It's not from your friends. Not even from the books that you read for IELTS. It's from inside of you. And when are you really confident? When are you confident enough that you can go and try to get that goal. That's when you can believe in yourself. So believe in yourself that you can do it, whatever you want to do, and work hard for it. And one way to show that to your parents is being dedicated, being consistent. So set a goal, be consistent, set yourself a schedule. If IELTS is your goal at the moment, set yourself a goal to practice IELTS, to work for it. And then set yourself little milestones so that when you, for example, you successfully completed one mock exam or a practice test, that can be a star for you. And then the next step, focus on the next step. Whatever you do, don't lose sight of that goal because you will get there. Okay, it's never too late. People in the United States are 97 and they're getting their bachelor's degrees because when they were little, they didn't have the chance, maybe the financial means to go to school. But when they do, they go and get that degree. So you guys are all young. You have so much ahead of you, and the future is bright. But only if you believe in yourself that you can do it, and then you work hard for it. Okay? Nothing in life comes easy if it's not hard.
Yeah, honestly, your speech really inspired me to also add a few final cents here. We keep repeating and saying that IELTS is just the first step, but I think that by far IELTS is the hardest step. It took me 4 years to learn English and to get the score that I wanted, and it was by far much harder than it was preparing for college. It took far less time. So here, honestly, I want to just thank the Internation and to the schools like Internation who popularize IELTS, who make our work possible. And please give a round of applause to your fascinating teachers who help you with the most challenging step.
Ну что, друзья, как вам формат сегодняшнего ивента? Я уверен, что вы все, как и я, согласны, что спикеры, которых мы пригласили сегодня, безумно успешные люди. И слушая советы этих людей, мы можем мотивироваться, мы можем расти дальше. И активити заключается в чем? Давайте дадим нашим спикерам 10 минут для того, чтобы они написали план успеха для 15-16-летнего студента, который готовится к поступлению в университет, вступлению во взрослую жизнь, и просто дадут свои советы.
First of all, we have to say the age of 16 or 17 is the best period in your lives. Less responsibility, more opportunities for your education. Please don't wait until you finish high school. Become someone already before you finish high school. This is my motto. Let's start with know your strengths or talent. From zero. I am sorry. Correction. Have a vision. It means ask the question why, right? Have a vision. I want to take IELTS score of 9. No, it's a result. I want to be a well-rounded person in life. Vision. I want to help as many people as possible in my life. This is the vision. I want to create some bright future for Uzbekistan. This is the vision. Please have a vision.
Yes, have a vision. Well, who wrote this? You wrote it.
I'm sorry. No, you can declare, please.
Okay. So this is his word, but we all agree. Know your strengths and talents. Everybody is good at something, right? You're not worthless or useless just because you don't speak English well, or maybe you have some kind of weakness with IELTS. Doesn't matter. Know your strengths, whatever they are. Okay, that's what makes you unique. Can I talk about the second one too? Set yourself an effective and realistic schedule. If you say, I'm trying to pass, get a good score in IELTS, so I'm going to study for 10 hours a day, that's not going to happen. You have to stick to a schedule that you can repeat every day. That's going to take some discipline from your part, but it's doable. I recommend to my students, if you want to practice effectively, 30 minutes every day, 30 minutes on reading. Read some interesting article, read some maybe news for 30 minutes. And then think about it. What do you think about that news? Talk to somebody about it. And then write about it. Write your opinions like a diary.
Okay, let me go to the third one. That is anti-advice that I would give you. Stop chasing success. Like, success stuff, is too much like given of a I don't know, attention in our lives. Like, I guess you've tried this one, right? You watch a motivational video, or you hear this kind of talks, and then you go like, you write down your dreams, your goals, everything, and you want to say, like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to change my life, I'm going to be better. And when the tomorrow comes, you're like, nah, fuck it. Let's sleep, or let's go out. Oh, so this usually happens when you put a lot of pressure on yourself. Like, I have to achieve something. Who cares about achieving something? Let me tell you one thing. I've been a homeless for one day, and I have seen that the homeless people actually can be a lot happier than these so-called successful people. Just what seems so attractive and confident and luxurious on the outside doesn't mean that it's inside of the person. So usually if you ask yourself, all the things mostly that you're doing is to be, I guess, maybe happier about your life, or maybe more satisfied with yourself, right? And believe me, you can still achieve these elements in your life without chasing this success, without having a lot of money, or I don't know, without having a lot of these great scores. Because I have heard a really good quote on this. Don't try. Because when you put an effort in it, it usually backfires. Just remember the times, let's say, when you would use self-affirmations, like you would stand in front of the mirror and say to yourself, oh, I'm confident, I'm beautiful, oh, I'm very successful. If you think about it, you only say this stuff because you're not. Because have you ever seen a truly successful and truly happy person standing in front of the mirror and repeating to himself this affirmation? I guess no. Because a truly happy person, a truly confident person does not need to remind themselves that they are these people. So don't try. Don't put a lot of effort into it. Do not go with the flow. Do not go against the flow. Just be the flow. Thank you.
Yeah, I guess the second one is surround yourself with the right people. Would you like to? If you like, I think you can do it better than me.
Surround yourself with the right people. This is especially important in the 21st century because we have all the social media influence, the impact in our lives. We come to international school, we go to our own school, we attend university courses. Successful people, especially billionaires, recommend go to a hotel, expensive hotel, just grab a coffee, pay for it, sit there and watch people around. You will see they are successful. They're there paying for an expensive breakfast. You will get that influence on you. Coming to this place, to your school, surround yourself with people who strive for knowledge, who are studying, who are reading. Because Bill Gates says, don't worry if your friends are not reading. You read. Because tomorrow you will become boss for those who are not reading today. Please become the person.
Okay. When he was saying, one thing that came to my mind was right? Never stop learning. Learning it never stops. Yeah. Somebody, I think it was Einstein. Somebody said, "I know so much, but the more I grew older, the more I realized I don't know anything." Never stop learning. There's always something to learn. There's always somebody who knows more than you, but always try to be competitive, okay? You have to have that competitive spirit. Don't just lazily say, okay, whatever happens to me, I'll take it. Don't settle for anything that's less than what you want. So go get something that you really want. Don't let anything stop you. Chances are, my dad used to tell that to me actually. When I was studying back in high school and college, there'd be days when I didn't sleep because I had to write essays all night. And because of my English, I couldn't write really well. But he told me, chances are your classmates are asleep. You're the only one who's up trying to write this essay. So what I learned from this is, every day that you're learning something, chances are other people around you are not. They're doing something else. So keep improving yourself, okay? Never stop learning.
Awesome, awesome. With my point, I actually want to ask all of you a question. Who of you thinks that writing is difficult? Who is struggling with writing? Raise your hands. All right, I guess most people are having difficulties, and I will explain why. Because writing requires a lot of thinking. Just think about it. You first need to start with an idea. then you need to start thinking how you will lay out this idea within, let's say, the word limit that you need to have with 300, 200 words. Then you have to think, what kind of words can you use? What kind of sentences can you use in order to express this idea better? And they're just more and more things that you can add into your writing constantly. And this entire process requires a lot of thinking as a result. So if you can learn something, if you can really truly understand something about yourself or the world, doing it through writing will be extremely useful. I know that for some of you it might not make much sense because we generally don't do much writing in our public schools. It's not the kind of custom that we have, but I guarantee you, once you start writing, you will see so much more learning potential, and you will understand yourself and the world better, again, because you will be forced to think a lot about the topics that you write about. And of course, once you have the writing routine ready, be honest with yourself. There are a lot of times when you speak, when you write, you have a tendency to be untrue to yourself, to say things that you don't really believe in. But through writing, it's much easier to spot those instances because it's just such a time-consuming process and you have so much time to think. The other point that I also want to mention is that ask more questions that start with how and why. This is crucial because when it comes to motivational papers, these are the questions that we start with. For instance, Shohrukh talked about success. What is success? What is success for you? For different people, it means different things. Why do you believe in things that you believe in? Why do you believe that this specific success will make you happy? Why, let's say, a beggar in the street seems more happy than you? That's also a valid question to ask. So why and how will lead you to answers? I guess that's also a very common misconception that knowledge brings you answers. No, the right questions do. And how and why is the first place to start kind of getting to the questions, to the answers you need. So yeah, these are my comments.
Are we done here? Are we done here? Last one. Nothing is impossible. If you truly want something, you will find a way. Niyatga hamma narsa bog'liq deyshadi-yu. Birinchi qadam niyatda. Niyatingiz to'g'ri bo'lsa, niyatingiz yaxshi bo'lsa, ertami kechmi o'sha niyatingizga erishasiz. Shu narsani esdan chiqarmanglar. Tushundingmi? Endi bu masala bir yozib chiqqanlaringiz bu ko'pincha prinsipga o'xshaydi. Ya'ni hayotda ishlatishingiz kerak bo'lgan prinsiplarni bitta turi planga o'xshamagan narsa bu. Ko'pincha miyada bizni nima qilsa to'g'riroq bo'ladi degan narsa. Orqada plan yozib chiqdik. U yaxshiroq plan, aniqroq plan, ozgina bo'ldi nimaroq. Nima deydi? Praktichniroq. Xo'p. Birinchisi, ingliz tilini o'rganishingiz kerak. Qatta desa, international o'rganinglar, Shohrukh bilan o'rganinglar. Mamura opaga boringlar. Ingliz tilini yaxshi o'rganish kerak. Tushunarlimi? Ingliz tili hozir mana eng omadli bo'lish, ya'ni hozirgi success to'g'risida gapirayotganimizda bitta vositasidan bittasi bo'lib qolgan. Tushunarlimi? Asosiy emas yoki yagona emas, просто hozirgi kunda eng populyarnisi. Ikkinchisi IELTS education bilan topshirish kerak. Обязательно bu. Bunisi eng muhimi bor. Shu narsani hammasidan ham kerakligi mana shu IELTS education bilan topshirasizlar. O'zingizni tekshiramiz. IELTSda yaxshi ball olganinglardan keyin Freshman Academy'ga borasizlar. Freshman Academy sizlarga qaysi universitetga kirish kerak, qancha to'lash kerak, qancha vaqt kerak, qanaqa dokumentlar yig'ish kerak, motivatsiya qanaqa, motivatsionniy letterlar qanaqa yozish kerak, qanaqa paket tayyorlash kerak qilib, yaxshi top universitetlardan grantli yutishni o'rgatishadi sizlarga. Tushunarlimi? Asosiysi. Ularga borib o'rgangandan keyin keyingisi ana o'sha zo'r universitetlarga kirib o'qish kerak. O'qiganda ham har doim eng zo'ri bo'lib o'qish kerak. Har doim harakat qilinglar, o'zingizlarning atrofinglardagi odamlardan zo'r bo'lishga. Ana o'shandagina hali aytgandek omadli bo'lasizlar, o'shandagina niyatingizga erishasizlar. Tushunarlimi? Haligi oxirgisi hech qachon o'rganishdan, o'qishdan charchamanglar ham, to'xtamanglar ham. Mani bitta ekzaminator o'zi bilan ko'p suhbat qilib o'tkazganimizda, shu mashnaqa yig'ilishlar qilganimizda aytishardi, ko'p savollar berishganda oxiri aytardi. Learn the English for the sake of English. Nima degani? Ingliz tilini IELTS uchun o'qimanglar. Ingliz tilini IELTSdan 7.5 olaman, 8 olaman deb o'qimanglar. Ingliz tilida muloqot qilaman, ingliz tilida ishlayman, ingliz tilida odamlar bilan nima deydi, bilim olaman deb harakat qilinglar. Hech qachon to'xtamanglar. IELTS olganinglardan keyin ham ishoninglar, hali ingliz tilidan ko'p bilmagan narsalar borligini anglab yetasizlar, bor-ku? Menimcha Mamura opani ham aytsalar kerak. Mana shunga misol bo'ladi. Ingliz tilini o'rganamasa, hali davom etib o'rganadigan narsangiz menimcha hali yana bor bo'lsa kerak, to'g'rimi? Chegarasi yo'q bu narsani. Shuni esdan chiqarmanglar. Xo'p, hammangizga omad. Rahmat kattakon kelganingizga.